Now this is a Lion Brand kit that came out about 20 years ago or so. And I thought it would be really interesting to explore. I see these every now and again, particularly on eBay. I picked this one up for fairly inexpensively, not very much. I think I spent maybe $20 on this, and that included shipping. But I was intrigued. I was intrigued enough to see what it was and what was all involved in this Lion Brand kit. So today I will be unboxing, revealing, and reviewing the kit, the yarn, our pattern that they give us, and everything else that is to come in this box. Hi, my name is Sig, and this is Essential Crochet, and you, of course, are always welcomed here. Welcome to the party. Hang out for a while. We always appreciate it when you can hit that subscribe bar, and certainly if you choose to hit the like buttons if this video works for you. Now let's just get started. So quickly, let's just start off by looking at the box. This is the box. It's a pretty good size box. And then on the back, it explains what's all supposed to come in this box. So according to the back panel, it says that this box includes 2 balls of the Lion Brand Wool Ease yarn instruction books, a 50 pattern card set. I just really expected it to have that one pattern, so that's cool. And 5 crochet hooks in different sizes. See, I didn't even expect crochet hooks, but okay, I don't really need them, but we'll see what they look like, see what kind of crochet hooks come in this kit. And it looks like this came out, oh, yeah, almost 20 years ago. I think I already mentioned that. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to open this box. And then as these boxes go, we've got the yarn. And the yarn they give us is the Wool Ease worsted weight. So it's a solid 4. And this colorway is called Rose Heather. And then this is pretty much the same yarn. And the colorway of this one is Cranberry. Let's see if we can find out exactly what the percentage. Okay, here we go. It's 80% acrylic and 20% wool. They give us 3 ounces or 85 grams if you like. And for that weight, we're going to get 197 yards or 180 meters of yarn per skein. And this is a yarn. You're going to want to wash this on gentle. Do not use an iron. You can certainly dry clean. Do not bleach. And it looks like maybe you can dry it on gentle. I'd be a little nervous about that, but that's what it tells us. Okay, so we got the yarn. And then this, I'm guessing, is our cards. Ooh, look at that. We'll go through all of this in just a moment. Let me set that aside. Now, sorry if I make too much noise. I'm going to go and see if maybe these hooks I'm supposed to have are somewhere else in the box. Not there. Not there. Got one more place to look. And not there. No hooks. Well, it's a good thing I don't need the hooks. When I purchased this kit, I didn't purchase it expecting hooks, so that's okay. As I mentioned before, I only spent like 20 bucks on it, including shipping. So am I disappointed I didn't get the hooks? Well, yeah, because it's part of the kit. Am I going to get too upset? No, maybe I'll not leave a great review because the person who sold this to me should have checked that it had all the components it was supposed to have in its kit. So if you're going to buy a kit like this, and they come up pretty regularly, make sure that your kit has everything it's supposed to have in it. All right, so let's take a look at these cards. Holy cow. So I I really only just expected to get the one pattern, you know, the kit, right? And in the kit, I expected the yarn that I got because that is the yarn that matches this little kimono style baby jacket. So this is a happy surprise. This helps to make up for those missing hooks. Although I still didn't leave great feedback because, damn it, I paid for hooks. Even if I didn't know I was paying for hooks. Okay, so this is the first. And that's cute. So I expect to do that. And this is what I will make for this video. So hang tight for that. And then the book that they give, a little instruction booklet. That I didn't expect to have come in the box. I don't really know what that's all about. So I'm seeing this for the first time. Okay, table of content. We have the introduction, supplies, yarns, hooks, miscellaneous supplies, information on how to read a pattern, some information on how to start crocheting, and then information on your basic stitches. That's cool. That's nice to see. So this is really just not a basic little one-off kit. This kit has a little bit of everything going for it. Oh, wait, we got more stuff. Then they give us a few more advanced techniques, particularly for those of you who are just learning. This might be considered advanced. And it looks pretty good. It looks like good, solid basics. And then we're getting finishing techniques. So that's nice. I'll have to take a closer look at this book while finishing up this video, and I will let you know a little more about what I think of the book at the end of the video. And then they give us some resources, and then they talk a little bit about yarn. Okay, so that's cool. I'm curious to see what that says. Now, let's see what it is that they are going to give us for starter patterns. So far, this looks like this might be a really nice, inexpensive gift that you might give somebody or to yourself who's maybe thinking about trying out crocheting. Because like I said, I mean, my box didn't come with it, but it gives you the hooks, it gives you an instruction book, it gives you a decent introductory pattern to start with, and it gives you 50 cards, well, 49 cards of different projects that you can start with. And all of this for, what did I say? I spent $20 including shipping. So, you know, I know the holidays are still a ways away yet, but they'll be here before you know it. And with the prices of things lately and inflation, I don't know, trucking over to eBay and seeing if you can't find yourself a deal on one of these for somebody who might be interested doesn't sound like a half bad idea. So our first one, it looks like a bookmark. So I'm going to go through these ones pretty quickly, I think. So we got a bookmark, basic coaster, a basic hat or beanie, a headband, kind of a bucket hat, and it looks like that might be a little felted, I don't know, without getting into the actual pattern itself. A little change purse, a boho style belt, baby block, what looks like it can basically be a market bag or just kind of a carry-all kind of a bag, baby booties, your basic pillow, a skirt, some little flower motifs for applique work, a scarf, a ripple style afghan, what looks like, is that a sweater? Let me look. Oh, nope, it's just what they call a frilly edged wrap, a halter top, trim, another type of afghan, but with a different stitch, some open work scarf. Let me see. Another casual boho style bag. Looks like we got some little crocheted mice. You know, these make great toys for the cats if you put a little catnip in them or a bell. A granny square purse. A teddy bear. Little amigurumi. Well, I don't know that you'd call that an amigurumi, but you can consider it because amigurumi basically means toy, right? You got another more lacy style belt, a cupcake pin cushion, another kind of pillow, a bikini top, a wrap using what looks like a ribbon yarn. You can go a more lacy approach to an afghan, a cute little baby hat, another kind of market bag. This I'm not sure. I don't know if is it like a coaster or what. Let me see. Oh, it's a clutch. It's a little hard to see in the image. Oh, a little introductory to crocheting wire. That's cool. A bathroom mat, a skull cap beanie, little containers. So far, I'm really liking the mix of projects they give with this, especially if you're a newbie. This is going to really give you an opportunity to try out different genres of crochet, if you will, without getting too invested or getting too caught up in buying too many things and then discovering you really didn't like it or it's not really your flavor. Okay, so then we get mitts. And then we got some more baby booties. This looks like those little Mary Jane baby booties that are so cute. Oh, they are. They're Mary Jane booties. Another type of scarf. Another baby sweater, and that's a really nice one. And then we're looking at some basic placemats. A kind of lacy wrap. I don't know how in fashion these are today, but there was a time when a wrap like this was considered somewhat fashionable. I think it was back in the late 80s, early 90s, even though this came out, or maybe even was it around the 70s? I don't know. I'm totally aging myself. At any rate, this would be at least a nice introduction to making sort of garments from a lacy crochet perspective. And then we have, oh, this is dated. What did they used to call these? I never had a set of these. I know my husband and my kids did. But anyways, yeah, a little case to carry your iPod covers. That's right. Okay, more flower motifs. Another little amigurumi duck style. Oh my goodness, make your own fuzzy dice. And then we've got this sweater, this mesh stitched sweater. And then what looks like a little baby bunting with ladybugs on it. All right, so this seems to be a really nice mix. We got baby stuff, we've got adult stuff, we've got home decor, we've got toys, we got lace. We got a little bit of everything going on with these cards, and so far I'm pretty impressed. Okay, so I just went through the book, and it's short and sweet. As you can see, it's not a very thick book. It gives you just the basics, but for this, especially if you're a newbie, the basics are all you really need, and it's nice that they give you, really just like the cards, a good list of the various basics to explore, because quite frankly, a lot of times I've picked up something that had a list of the basics, and what I would consider a total list of the basics would be completely lacking. So I find this a really great little book, and it really does cover most of what any new crocheter is going to ever run into. So that I am pretty impressed. Lion Brand usually does a pretty good job anyways, but you know, we still must do our due diligence and check these things out, right? Yeah. Anywho, let's start with the pattern I expected to make for this project. Okay. Yes, it is called a baby kimono, and what could be cuter than that two-toned kimono for a little one? Pick any 2 colors you like and wrap your baby in sweet softness. So the stitches they tell us we're going to need for this project are going to be chain stitch, single chain, 2 and 3 together, and then slip stitches, decreasing, and sewing the seams together. Okay, so that's kind of nice. They give you a small list of all the steps you're going to have to take, and this ties in nicely with your little handbook that you've been given. They give us our material list, and they let us know that the 2 balls of yarn they gave us is exactly what we need. They're telling me that I'm going to need a size H hook, or an 8, for the needed gauge, and then also a sewing needle and stitch markers. So they say sewing needle. I think I'm probably going to use a yarn needle or tapestry needle. I don't know. I'll get into the kit and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I do need a sewing needle, but for now, we'll just keep going. Gives me the gauge, and then we have special notes. So they said the pattern's written for the smallest size with changes for larger sizes in the parentheses. So, okay, so they're just going to explain how that works in terms of a pattern as well. So that's pretty handy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started and see how this works up. So I have my hook. It's a 4.5 millimeter or size 7, even though the instructions ask me to use an 8. Now I'm sure the 8 size is based off of the hooks that they made available in the kit, but since I didn't get those hooks, I am going to use this hook. Now my tulip hooks always seem to be a little bit on the larger size, so so I broke out my Bates measuring card in order to show you what I mean. So for a size 7, which this hook is, my hook does not go just through. It just stops short. And so what that tells me is this hook is just a little bit, or at least the head of the hook is just a little bit bigger than what my Susan Bates card would tell me a size 7 or a 4.5 millimeter should be. But now if I take my hook and I put it into the 8 or the H, so you can see it just goes through. And you can see that the circle or the hole that it goes through is just ever so slightly bigger than the actual shaft itself. So for me, that makes this 4.5 millimeter 7 hook acceptable for use. And so this is what I'm going to use. Hey guys, so as you can see, I caked my yarn. And the reason for why I did that was because when I went to pull the inside strand of the yarn from my skein, it wasn't going anywhere. And so I felt around on the inside of the skein and things felt kind of yarny. And when I tugged on it a little bit, I could tell I was going to have a huge yarn barf situation if I kept pulling. So I decided to just go ahead and cake the yarn. I rewound the yarn. And I did in the center of the skeins. There was a little knotting going on in each skein. So I'm glad I rewound it, because then I got in there and I took a couple of minutes to unknot the yarn and finish rewinding. And I thought life was going to be good in the world, and it wasn't. When you look at this, I saw it immediately. So I was really glad that I actually rewound the yarn. But for those of you who aren't seeing what I'm seeing immediately, what the problem here is my cranberry colorway is a noticeably larger diameter than my rose heather colorway. And so that makes me really concerned about the amount of grams in the yarn, because a lot of times grams can denote whether we have enough yarn or not for the project, right? And if it falls short of the grams of the yarn that you're supposed to have, you might not have enough yarn for your project. So I decided to break out the scale, the digital scale. I'm going to go ahead and weigh the cranberry colorway. And now my cranberry colorway says 84.1. That's a little lighter on the weight of yarn that I'd like to see, but I am doing the small, the size 6 months, because in the book it tells me that I need one cranberry colorway and one of the heather rose colorway in order to make the kimono. And they only give you enough yarn to make the smallest 6-month size kimono anyways. So if I wanted to go bigger, if I wanted to do a 1 year or a 2-year-old size, I would actually need to have 2 balls of my cranberry colorway, but still only one of the rose heather. So if the rose heather is off, it's not probably going to affect things too much, because if I only still need 1 ball of the heather in order to complete a 2-year-old size kimono sweater, then unless there's a significant amount of this missing, I should still be okay. So we're zeroed. I'm going to put that there. And, there you have it. We are missing a few grams of the rose heather. So what that does is now that makes me think that one of two things happened. Either the company that Lion Brand had manufactured their yarn fell short on this particular colorway in terms of appropriate weight, or the new kit I bought off of eBay wasn't so new. And of course, you sometimes run into this with the new old stock, right? That's what they call it when it's old stock, but it supposedly has never been used before. So what I'm wondering is, especially since my hooks were missing from this kit, if somebody had attempted to work with this kit and lost interest for whatever reason quite quickly. But because I don't need because it doesn't look like I'm going to need too much of the rose heather, I think we're still going to be okay. So just another reason why it's important to pay close attention to the description given you when you purchase something off a platform like eBay, and withhold your review until you've had a chance to really make sure everything is as it should be. So as you can see, I did have enough yarn to actually make the little kimono sweater. I also had enough yarn to make a couple of these flowers so that I could spruce up the kimono sweater a little bit and try another pattern included in this kit with, I don't have that much yarn left over, so I just wanted to make sure that I was going to have enough yarn to add a little personality to this and still use one of their patterns. And so this applique flower seemed to be the logical, obvious choice. And this is how the sweater turned out. Very cute. It crocheted up quite nicely, quite easily. The instructions were quite simple to follow. If you're a brand newbie, you might want to read the little book they include, but that booklet is going to very much help you understand everything you need to do with this particular pattern. In addition, I had this much yarn left over. So after weighing it, it comes out to approximately 40 grams. So I'm going to go ahead and I will put these away in my stash bin and use them in a scrap project or some other project that requires just a little bit of something where these might match. And then I'll have this available for that, basically what everyone does with their scrap yarn.